Hi, we're back. Day one from having returned from our little vacation, which was awesome by the way, and it's so cool to have had a break and detached from everything. But day one, as you can tell, I'm in the VR studio and I have a very important task I've taken on board. While I was away, I continued occasionally to check up on the Vive Reddit subreddit I should say, and someone posted a competition that Sketchfab is hosting. Sketchfab hosts monthly challenges, and this month they're doing a VR creation tool challenge for The Legend of Zelda. And they posted an example here which is super awesome, and I just can't resist entering this. Now the tricky thing is, the deadline, where is it? 13th of February. I know it's New York time, but I do want to finish by the 13th, and today is the 12th. So, my first day back, I have one day to enter my virtual reality art competition, but I want to make something amazing because I love Zelda, and it's a virtual reality art competition. How can I not want to go crazy with this? So, anyway, first day back, I want to make a piece for the competition, which will also be content for my YouTube channel. I'll be uploading the piece though today, so you'll actually see the finished piece. I'll link to it in the description in this video, so you can go check it out. Hopefully it's decent, but I will make content out of it for my YouTube channel, but that won't go up for a little over a week. And I don't want to do too many VR videos in a row, so there'll be a slight delay so I can put in some traditional art, at least 2 traditional art videos between the 2 VR videos. So I love VR, and I want to just keep making VR and stuff, but I do need to be careful not to just only do too many VR things in a row, because I don't want to lose the attention of the people who love the traditional stuff or feel a little bit like that's a bit less interesting to them or less accessible. Anyway, so for today's task, I'm actually breaking it up into 2 activities. My first activity is actually painting the tilt brush brushes into a grid and then uploading that to Sketchfab. Basically because I'm not 100% sure how they all look in Sketchfab. And I really just want to know how it's going to look in Sketchfab. Because it's a competition on Sketchfab, I just want to make sure that they look great on their website when you view it, because the brushes load a bit differently. They load slightly different textures and slightly lower resolution and detail. So that's my first thing, and then the second thing of course is the piece itself, which I have sketched out. So I suppose I didn't do no work on the holiday, but my holiday work tends to be much more relaxed. I did post this on what's the word, Instagram, and I've been playing around with some poses. So that's Link, sort of. The idea I have is that Majora, or Skullkid with Majora's mask, will be standing with this sort of like, do you know what you're messing with sort of pose, and Link will be like, it's too much power, and they'll come together in a scene like this. So we have the moon, and I really want that to be a big focal point, but I think we're going to be starting off looking at these two and sort of from their height and perspective, and then we can look around and we can see the destruction of the world. Anyways, they are my tasks for today, and it's going to be a marathon. I love VR, but when I painted the video that will again go up today, this is the video I did for Honor, so go check that out. That's a VR video, and if you're interested, it's the best painting I've done so far, but I haven't done today's yet. Anyway, it took like 4.5 hours, and by the end it was like, whew, that was like a real marathon. I think this one may take longer, so I'm just sort of bracing myself. Okay, so I finished creating my tilt brush reference, which again, I'll put the link in the description, you can check it out. This is what the brushes look like in Sketchfab, as opposed to tilt brush. So as you can see, some of them, in particular the animated ones or the ones with really extreme textures or effects, don't actually exist. Embers, smoke, stars, and snow, for example. So that's why in the past I've had to erase the environments in the Sketchfab version so that just the models, and the tilt brush file has the environments, because usually they have smoke and things like that. So I'm going to try and figure out how to make an environment with the Zelda theme using the brushes that appear, and to try and make it look as cool as it possibly can in Sketchfab. Once again, for reference, this is what they look like in tilt brush. So I just recorded a video and you can sort of see how obviously when you're running it on a PC and you're using tilt brush, you have all the textures, you have all the lighting effects, and in particular the animated effects. So yeah, there's obviously a difference, and browsers can't run the high-end VR experience, but it's still a cool gap that's bridged by using Sketchfab, and I really want to enter the competition using the resources of the website and the way that it presents it as optimally as possible. So now I'm going to jump into tilt brush in the Vive, and I'm going to create a sketch of the scene. Once again, this scene here. So I'm going to create like the construction lines of the characters and do some construction lines for the environment itself. So have the rolling landscape, some mountains in the background, the city and the moon. And then once I've done the construction stuff, I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to come back and attack. Okay, it's been about an hour or 45 minutes, and I started off by sketching out the landscape. So if I go across here, you can sort of see it's pretty rough. It's just sort of like a grid for the ground and a rough clock tower. And then I put in a placeholder for the moon, which you'll see later. And then I did the sketches for the actual characters. And as you can see, I brought in the reference files that I actually drew and used them to sort of guide me through the poses. And that's Majora there, or Skullkid. Not sure what you call him. In Majora's Mask, Skullkid. And then that's Link, sort of on the ground. And that's both of them together, like that. And then there'll be the big moon behind. I'm really happy with the progress so far. I need a half-hour break, then it's going to be 1 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I have 3 hours to get a lot of this done. Wish me luck. In the meantime, I've been preparing some references. So this is what I'll be using as a reference for the moon, clock town, and sort of the map in general, just so I can see where to put some landmarks in the environment. And then we have Majora / Skullkid reference there. So there's my drawing and pose, but then all the images and colors that I need to follow. And then of course we have Link. And there's sort of a mix of illustrations, but then in-game models, just because I want it to be pretty simplistic in details and follow the in-game models as far as that goes. But obviously want to incorporate whatever features I can wherever they're present. So. Okay, I'm back in here, I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm going to open Tilt Brush. I have my webcam recording here and then my actual computer recording Tilt Brush. And I'm just going to jump into it. I have a little less than 3 hours, so it's going to be a crazy crunch. So to get me in the zone, I have one thing left to put on. I'm going to be painting to the soundtrack. Oh man, I'm pumped. Let's do this. Okay, it's been an hour and I've just finished Skullkid / Majora, and I won't show you more than this, but I am going to show you what I've done so far. And to see the rest of it, you're going to have to go click the link in the description to go see it on Sketchfab, and then you're also going to have to wait till next week till the full quality Tilt Brush video comes out. Alright, here he is, Skullkid from Majora's Mask. I am so happy with how this is looking. I wanted to have like his clothes blowing in the wind and stuff, and yeah, needless to say, I think he's looking pretty cool. Okay, I have a little under 2 hours to get Link and then the environment done. Jump back into it. Let's go. These are the eyes of a man that's dead inside. Okay, it's 7:30. I need to finish. I'm uploading the piece. The pain in the ass is I spent an hour on an environment that I ended up having to erase because of file size capping, which is stupid. So at least I have Zelda, Skullkid and the moon, and then I actually had to erase. Like, I did all these valleys and this castle and the mountain and the trees and all that stuff, but it turns out it ended up being 290 megs, and there's a 200 meg limit on Sketchfab. So I had to erase all of that, and even though it's an environment competition, there's no environment. So, oh well. I think more than half the entries aren't environments anyway, so I'm hoping that, you know, I won't look too bad in that sense, but what are you going to do? That's what I've got to deal with, so there you go. Anyways, this is the first day back, so there's no question of the day yet, but ask your questions away, and I will begin answering questions of the day moving forward. Also, remember that the stream is starting up again too, so details are in the description, but essentially tomorrow, which by the time this is released is today, our streams are back. So make sure to check out those details. Again, link to the Zelda things in the description. I'm knackered and I've got to go. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.